This is the Team New Zealand Project Lessons Learned video. In this presentation, we will talk about incident overview, cause, impact, recovery, best practices, and future preventive measures. The Global Economic Summit incident overview. During the Global Economic Summit, an attendee downloaded a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet from an email, downloaded it, and once they did that, the attendee opened the file and unknowingly downloaded malicious code to the victim's laptop. The victim's laptop was then locked out and the login displayed the following: your computer has been involved in a computer fraud activity and has been locked down by the FBI and the Justice Department. Unless you pay a sum of $500 in Bitcoin, you will be arrested immediately. You have 48 hours to pay up via email, and then it gives you a fictitious FBI email. So automatically we know that this is false, because we know that the FBI doesn't do those types of things. But what we did identify is that this was a Reviton ransom attack, which locks down your login capabilities and requires the victim to pay a ransomed amount to receive an encryption key to regain access to their system. Reviton first came on the scene in 2012. Email phishing is the primary method is used to execute the ransomware. In addition, we discovered foreign IP traffic from an unknown distant endpoint to a GES web server. A malicious script used to download to the victim's laptop was discovered on the GES web server. Potential insider threat is a possibility. A malicious code was installed manually on the GES web server, and a suspicious resignation letter was discovered pointing to potential culprits. Unauthorized user account was discovered on the GES web server. Some of the causes that we believe for this to occur was poor asset management accountability, multiple USB flash drives discovered unattended to include on the GES web server in the rack. Poor security practices, passwords discovered on Post-it notes on laptops. A password was used to decrypt the resignation letter. Poor security awareness, victim not understanding the implications of downloading and opening an untrusted file. Employees were aware of passwords and unattended flash drives being on machines. In addition, there was a lack of robust security configurations on network security devices. Firewalls could have inspected incoming traffic for malicious code, and intrusion detection systems did not notify security analysts of the incidents, though they detected them. So what is the impact? The impact is the loss of trust within the national community, time and resources wasted, and the lack of productivity due to encrypted resources and potential exfiltration of data and decreased system availability. Once we've identified what the impact is, now we need to go through the recovery of the resources to get us back to operational status according to the BCP. The first part of that is containment. The internal GES web server was shut down. The affected laptop was confiscated and analyzed, and all attendees were notified of the incident and to follow procedures outlined in a locally developed cyber bulletin. And then we went about the business of eradicating or eliminating or cleaning the laptop and the GES web server. So the affected laptop was sanitized and a clean operating system was reloaded. We got the last known good configuration of the GS web server and installed it from backups. And prior to reconnecting devices and computers to the network, each went through testing to ensure that they performed effectively and up to standards. So what are the best practices? The areas where the incident response team was effective. Analysis and detection of the malicious source, isolating systems to protect network devices, implementing controls, IDS, logs, anti-malware, and cyber training to prevent future incidents, intelligence collecting and aiding the BCP processes and shortening downtime, consolidation of threat intelligence and sharing with Five Eyes nations to strengthen relationships, damage prevention, damage control. So what are some future preventive measures that we can do to ensure that this doesn't happen again? The areas that we need to improve are employee cybersecurity awareness, detection and prevention systems, ACLs and firewalls. Which security controls failed during this, including the monitoring tools, was the IDS. Now we have IDS, IPS here, but the IDS actually didn't have a prevention system capability in it, and that's something we need to institute. And the anti-malware was not updated enough to be able to identify and proactively alert security analysts that the Reviton virus had been downloaded. How can we improve these controls? Routine updates to IDS, IPS signatures and operating systems, and routine anti-malware virus updates and scanning of downloaded files. So what are some additional future preventive measures? How can we improve the security awareness programs? Annual and quarterly cybersecurity awareness training based on duties and responsibilities, posted cybersecurity bulletins. What were some current operating system vulnerabilities that were leveraged to execute this attack? Lack of email filtering, use of unsecured port 80 versus use of port 443, and sharing of computers. And how does managing patches and basic operating system security enhance security from known threats? Well, patching allows us to actively mitigate and remediate vulnerabilities. In other words, we realize that there's a place that we're vulnerable, but patching allows us to proactively, before the vulnerability is exploited, to correct and prevent that vulnerability, and to eliminate the vulnerability and prevents breaches. This concludes our lesson learned briefing for the GS incident overview. Thank you.